practices that helps the corporate not only for the social and economic responsibility, but also it enhances the ROI of the corporate. And I have got a lot of insights and lot of valuable inputs from the team, from the discussion about all these practice. Green HRM has been my one of the favorite topic and the discussions. And so I myself told Sunita that I would like to moderate and get more into this. And I would also like to know, I was telling Vinay today that how the corporates, how the organizations are helping the individuals. Like suppose I want to start with the sustainability practices, so how I should go about. So I also need the guidance that how I should start with those practices. And even for my institute, it has been 2 years now that I am an entrepreneur and have started my journey for an educational institute running the courses. And also I want to adapt those practices that will help me in future to me and my employees. So let us begin. And as we all know, green practices, when we talk about green practices, it's an individual responsibility. That is what I feel. It starts with ourselves, how we adapt those and how we believe in those thoughts that bring us to the sustainability level. Right. So I would like to introduce our first keynote speaker, Dr. Swati. So Dr. Swati is a Vice President for Center for Human Development and Neurolinguistics. She is a professor of management, HR, and PhD research. She has been associated with organizations such as ATN Telefilms, Surat Special Economic Zone. In her academic association, she has been director of Mumbai University, associated with MBA College for last couple of years. And she has also been associated with organizations like Wow Express, Abudaya Bank, Reliance Securities, and she has been into NLP coaching, education and training. And she has also been associated with corporate governance. That is her another key area, and that is her another interest. So now I would hand over this to Dr. Swati. Yes. So let us start the discussion.
Good evening, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. I'm very happy to see Sushil ji enjoying the moment already. So when we say green, whoever is here, hi Vinay ji, welcome. So when we say green, what is it that comes to everybody's mind? The word green. Nothing comes to your mind when I say green. Okay, Vinay ji says environment, of course. Today we are all about environment. Other than that, what does green imply?
Trees, plant, freshness, immediately that freshness, a feeling of freshness comes to our mind. True. That our surroundings should be clean and we observe clean, that green, kind of
beautiful, right? If I go to a time when I was not this well-informed version of green, it would mean money and prosperity. That is what, green implies to a common man. Money, prosperity. And trust me, when we are talking of green and CSR, it is the fundamental of this money and prosperity. At the end of the day, until we prosper as a community, until we prosper into going to the level of creating a sustainable environment for everyone, it is a bit of a challenge to, sustain in today's time. Can I have the right to share the PPT?
Sure, Dr. Swati, just give it. Yes, go ahead.
I hope the PPT is visible now.
Yes.
Yes. So when I talk of green practices and CSR, I very often say that for me, environment or taking care of environment is more related to my survival. I'll share with you all why. Because I'm an asthmatic. So whenever somebody says that, go green because your kids have to sustain, I think of first I have to sustain. I have to survive. That is how my interest in green practices came about. And while I was thinking, how do I make this environment sustainable for me to survive for the next 30 years if I finally meet the Lord at the age of 70, 75? there's something to be done. I live in Navi Mumbai, which is a metro hub of, there are columns where you just cannot breathe. And that is how my research into this green started. How can CSR and green practices be brought together so that Swati can survive and others can survive? And while I was talking to my mentor, my guru, Dr. Mangesh Dash, who is also president of our company, he shared one example with me, which was like the eye opener. And I would definitely want to share today. When he was director of an institution in Orissa, he used to travel quite a distance and see all these statues, no dirty, what happens with statues. People make it and they forget it. So he told his students, what can we do about this? And they took a CSR activity of not only cleaning the statue, making a water bed, planting trees around those statues. So every time the statue was cleaned, the water used to go to the water bed. So they were beautiful blooms and they turned into a green ecotourism. And when I heard that, I said, if he could do it, what is stopping from all of us to do something similar, whether it's corporate? And Sunita has heard me before. I always believe that CSR will survive through community. Corporates will pitch in the money. What I do with money, what Sushilji does or Vinayji does or Dr. Sahu does will define where are we going. So this example was like an eye opener to me that, okay, this is sustainability. And my dear Dr. Sunita, I'm talking 7-8 years back when we were not even into that green zone. Then I asked him, sir, anything else that comes to your mind? He said, my college was in remote and we were making roads. Suddenly we said that roads we have to make. For every 1 kilometer, why don't we plant 10 saplings? Because, radiation happens, could cause health damage to the villages which are on the way. And then I started thinking that this is so simple. If we really think, so I think I have 7 to 8 minutes more. I'll just take you through the PPT of what green practices means to me, to you, to the world. As we say, green is a philosophy and social concern for the conservation and improvement of the environment. It can be described as the environmental aspect of CSR, the duty to cover the environmental implications of the company's operations and the minimization of practices that might adversely affect the environment of the country's resources by the future generations. Now, I'll straight away talk of what can we do. Because today we are here to get some solutions. In more than theory, I'll just talk to you on solutions. Energy efficient office equipment, that is green and eco. Thus making every part of our work location as environmentally friendly as possible. I'll share an example with you. I had gone to an office and the managing director of the office was saying, Dr. Swati, we are very, very environment friendly. I said, wow. And then he offered me coffee in a plastic cup. I said, you are environment friendly. Are you sure? He said, yes, yes. We are very environment friendly. And I asked him, can I gift you something? He said, sure. I said, I'm going to meet you after 4 days. And I took pullards for it. He said, ye kya lekke aaye ho? Isme to mere dadaji chai pite the. I said, if you are environment friendly, next time, this is what you will be using. And then I have to explain that you put it in water, it gets converted, and you can use it to plant trees. So the first and foremost in our today's culture, energy efficiency, making every part of our work location and environment friendly as possible. Employee engagement. They have to be engaged. So we have to go with the theory of telling them to serve the society. Do different types of employee engagement activities such as tree plantation, forest walks and maintenance, workshops, donation drives, cleanup drives, awareness programs, and much more. Reduce environmental footprint. We all want to go paperless, right? And there is a joke which comes on WhatsApp very often. People are standing with placards written, save tree, save tree. There are multiple cardboards and papers on which people have written, save tree. It is a reality. There are certain places in bureaucracy, probably we have to do a handwritten. We who are here, if we can from today become a little more conscious of how much paper are we utilizing. We all have gadgets, right? WhatsApp, now latest in WhatsApp, I don't know if you people have experienced, people voice record and send me a message. They don't even type. And one person I asked, why do you do that? Kaun itna type karega? So the point is, if we are able to do everything in a more software oriented, tech oriented way, let us save paper. Because we don't even realize how much carbon emissions we create through our transport, the food we eat, and the unavoidable materials we use in our everyday life. Plastic, metal, do we actually quantify? What do we do? Dry waste, wet waste. And we think our responsibility is over. But can we cut down in offices as well as in our lives the utilization of these things? Reduce and offset your carbon footprint along with saving money through water audit, waste audit, energy audit, and carbon audit. I have always believed, and Dr. Sunita is a witness to it, that everything we do, audit is what makes it really work. Because anything that cannot be measured cannot be quantified, and what cannot be quantified cannot be improved upon. So audits should be something we should make it as a part. We shy away from audit because we fear that there will be a gap, there will be a problem. Now, who will get into it? But if we really want to have an environmental impact across all value chains, we have to adopt innovative services to sustain the daily operation, while we work on the auditing part of it as well. Add value to product and services. Commit to plant a tree for every product sold or service provided. You can also dedicate certain percentage from your profit to plant trees. Offering a tree on every sale is an affordable and effective way to increase your sales and increase product value while taking care of your planet. Celebrate with trees. Many organizations, and in my education world, I started giving tulsi sapling. And I was really amazed. I had gone for a program last year, and they gave me a ajwain plant. I hope everybody knows ajwain. And when I asked what is the fundamental, they said, you don't know how refreshing it is. Put it on your window. And when the, those leaves, the fresh leaves come, keep it in a glass of water in the night. Morning, you drink that water, chew this, and you are going to have no stomach ailments whatsoever. And I was amazed that people are now coming off the grid of, giving a bouquet and talking of giving tulsi sapling and ajwain plant, which was a new one for me. We all can do it because these are things that people are doing, celebrating with trees. And my favorite, department for green CSR. CSR, always we had HR and CSR as one. Then very vocally, I always advocate that make a separate CSR department. Now I'm saying, let us create a green CSR department. Let us have a green audit until we check what we are doing, how we are doing, and where we are reaching. It is very difficult for any of us to actually quantify that hum environment protect kaise kar rahe. I am doing everything right. Everything I've shared with you, I am doing. At the end of it all, have I checked that what I'm doing is actually delivering? And this, I always say, whenever I talk of CSR, I say it is a mindset. It is a mental imprint to do it. For me, when I step out of my house, for me to carry a, bottle with me, which is not a plastic bottle, because I don't want to buy that plastic bottle, is becoming a habit. So it's a mental imprint. For me to make sure I cut down on plastic. For me to tell my community to work harder on, building up more resources is a mindset. Same is with corporates. It all will come from up here. Another example I heard recently, one of the, these boilers, power plants, one of my colleagues had gone to a power plant and he was gifted a fish in an aquarium, small open vase mein, unko ek fish gift kiya. So he asked, what is the relevance of this gift? He said, see, this is about coexistence of animals with us. We are working. Even with the best practices, some part of the river gets polluted. So probably some part of this wildlife is being impacted. We are saying, take this and take care of this fish. So every guest who comes to our plant is gifted a fish in a bowl to take care of. So we have to coexist with our animals, with our people, with the environment. And, unfortunately, plants are still something we talk about. It's animals who are getting a bad bargain. You see, living in Navi Mumbai, if any of you are from Mumbai, it has expanded its horizons like crazy. Cheetahs, other animals have no place to go. So when we talk of environment and wellness of the earth, they are equally a part of it. So this fish example also made me think that, wow, so the chance that they are depleting a resource which has the same right to exist, they are giving, okay, you go and you keep this as a pet. So we can do many things within our work environment to make it happen. Awareness and activities programs best out of waste, birdhouse and feeder baking, Go Green Ganesha, seed ball making and bombing, water conservation activities, waste management, green lifestyle. All this is in our hands and we all can do it. Because green CSR is all about a community effort. Any CSR for that matter. And like the last word, I always would want to put it first is its responsibility. A lot of people say corporate social responsibility. I would say responsibility of corporate social initiative. It all begins with us taking the responsibility for the values that we uphold. So I'll just share two examples that I have personally saw. Cummins India Limited in Pune has created oxygen hubs. It partnered with various NGOs, communities, civic authorities, elected members, and defense department in the city to create oxygen hubs because Pune was really having a tough time, So they created artificial forests. Rallis India created a project titled Greening Project Afforestation as a part of its entire commitment towards climate change initiative, where the company planted thousands of trees at 7 different locations across Maharashtra and Gujarat. Why I brought these two examples? Because I just didn't want to be theoretical about it. I wanted you all to know that this is something people are doing. So you and I can do it. And I will finish with my favorite thing. Dr. Sunita has made this flyer, so the entire credit goes to her. So we need to create a movement which believes in CSR by creating a community. Community partnership can become third vertical of CSR, where there is corporate, the people getting the benefit of CSR, and us, the community, to make it more sustainable and more inclusive. So I think I may have short the time by 2-3 minutes. Thank you for your patience listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Swati. It was a wonderful inputs that you have given us regarding green practices and talking about the environment and how we can adapt those corporate social responsibilities. So I would like to know, like when any organization or any corporate, they adapt these policies. So what is the first thing that comes to their mind, and how do they bring you spoke about a lot of awareness programs for the employees and all. So do they have any budget, or how do they start this initiatives so that they can engage the employees and that they can create the awareness?
Wonderful. So I will share examples. The one I have worked with, they did a survey first of their own people in living in that city. That what is your biggest environmental challenge? It starts from home. When they got the result, they said, do you want to find a solution for this challenge? So if people said yes, then they went on to say that, okay, so this is what we can do. So will you pitch in as volunteers? So it has to start from home. Like I keep saying, that you have to start it from your home first. So when their executives and their employees are mentally ready, that fine, I can't breathe fresh air. We need fresh air hubs. Let us do something about it. So it is like driving from within. It's an internal drive. And then the budgets and all are discussed, and then community partnership. Like I said, they went to NGOs, they went to the defense because Pune is very strong in defense. They went to a lot of CSR institutions for funding, and this whole thing came about. What they really got is the entire volunteer support of people, because it came from within. That they had an idea that this project is going to help us in this particular manner. So you didn't have to tell them that it is your duty, so you do it. It involuntarily happened, Sarika.
Yes.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, wonderful, Dr. Swati. And we must say nowadays stakeholders are also interested for green.
Very much.
Customer is asking for eco-friendly products.
Yes.
Investors or others, they are looking for like audit is mandate, and green audit is nowadays just becoming for every corporate so they are taking care of. Yes.
Dr. Sunita ji, can I say something? Dr. Mangesh has joined. He's the president of my company. I think both my bosses want to make sure that I'm doing something constructive on a Saturday evening. Welcome, Mangesh sir.
Yeah.
And that statue cleaning activity, that road thing, all are his experiences that I just shared with you all. So thank you for being here, Mangesh sir. It's such a pleasure.
Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for your wonderful presence with us.
Thank you so much.
And Mangesh sir, with your due permission, I share your examples of the statue clearing, the road, and even the fish in the bowl.
Okay. Thank you. So nice of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for being here. Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions, Sarika? You can ask.
Yes. Another question is like when they partner with the NGO. So what are the factors that comes to the mind and how do they balance, and what is the benefit that a corporate achieves from partnering with the NGO? And so do they combine their thought process and they work on this CSR?
Wonderful question. And the answer is they go to the NGOs whose objective aligns with them first. Being with the NGO
who has a common objective.
Yes, a common objective and a common
Yes.
vision of, okay, you are doing this, we are also doing this, let us come together and synergize. Second is with the NGOs, the power is the volunteer brigade. Your employees volunteering will somewhere have a bit of a challenge, you know. You can give 50 employees, not every day. For NGOs, it's a mission. For NGOs, this is also a way of finding the right vehicle to project and do what they want to do. Because for them, funding and getting all these, you know, resources allocated is always a bit of a stress. When a big corporate joins, when a big name joins any such effort, it actually becomes like a yin yang thing. Both of them are looking out for something. They are missing something. They are missing something. And then they come together to actually synergize, where the NGOs can keep on doing it on a regular basis because it's part of their project. It's about their everyday, you know, work. So NGOs are also looking for corporates who actually synergize and align with what are their objectives of doing a project. And
so their goal is common.
Goal is
whatever
common,
they want to
goal
achieve.
is common, and the beauty with NGOs is their volunteer brigade is always ready. So that human factor also plays a very, very important role. And respecting the way we think, bringing an NGO on board adds a lot of authenticity to the product, you know, the goodwill factor. Corporate is the power factor, NGOs is the goodwill factor. So when you have both, you know, the entire project outshines the whole credibility is what I have seen.
Any other question from the audience?
Okay, Sarika, we do have Mr. Paran Makadia. Basically, he is organization is working for green supply chain management. So Paranji, if you are there, please, we would like your like 1 or 2 inputs in this regard, because he is doing a wonderful work regarding to make suppliers aware about the green practices.
Hello, sir.
I'm there. I'm listening very carefully to Dr. Swati. My video is off. Let me start my video.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm listening very carefully to what she said about the audit. Yeah, you are absolutely right. Audit is very much required. Whether you do it self-audit or a second party audit, like HR department is doing audit of financial department is doing audit of marketing department. Whether you do it internally or you hire a third party audit, you have to do it. If you don't audit it, the things will be like you mentioned one example of that. Okay, I am sustainable, and somebody was serving you something in a plastic cup. So that is what happens. So I'm fully with you, and I agree with you. Thank you very much for reinforcing my belief.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Just I will add up 2 beautiful examples what you said. I think you may be aware of a man who has received at last the Padma Shri. And man is known as Forest Man of India. Right? Single man, he has made a wonderful change. In fact, he started this initiative at the age of 14 years. And now he is about 80. And during his lifetime, he has converted 550 acres of barren land into forest, green forest with variety of living beings there. In addition to getting recognition in India, he has now received international recognition, and government of USA, they have entered in with the government of India consent 10 years agreement with him will be visiting for 3 months each year and helping how to convert their areas into green. So this is an example from Assam. And second one is latest, which just I came to know only 2-3 days back. It's from Telangana. It's another wonderful person, 5 crores to reach. Single man, illiterate. 5 crores trees, 70 acres land. He has planted 32 varieties, and there are multiple of words now. He has created 7 ponds, and is a man from Telangana, Satyanarayana. So it's a recent name, and there are, I feel, hundreds of such unknown, wonderful people in our land who doesn't get any focus or name at all. So in fact, instead of giving corporate examples, it will be more appealing if you give the
community, sir, like I said.
Youngsters coming out as the environmentalist and working for the different causes, say it's climate change, climate action, and different, they work on different topics and bring, they come out with a lot of initiatives.
Adding to what Mr. Sharma said, like I said, it's in our mindset, it's in our, like it's in our DNA. If our mind strength and mindset we put to it, the examples he's sharing with all the challenges they must have faced, it was because of that strength that they cultivated, Therefore, I always say it is not only that community, it has to be part of our mindset that I have to do it. I got to do it. Like I always tell that, in NLP, we say, you have to be driven enough to do it. So your mental imprint has to be driven enough that it compels you to reach that success story or that goal. CSR needs to be that driven, individually, community, corporate. Like I said, there is a triangle. All of us have to be driven enough to reach whatever mission and vision we have created for ourselves.
Yes, and Dr. Swati, I think now SDG is creating a great impact on everyone.
Everyone.
Yes, 2030, everywhere, yes. Yes, Sarika, Vinay is, yes. So,
So wonderful inputs, and now we have our keynote speaker, Vinay Pushpakaran. So I would like to introduce Vinay. Yeah, Vinay is a marketer by profession, a speaker by choice, and a short story writer by accident. That's Vinay Pushpakaran. Vinay helps entrepreneurs create and retain insanely loyal customers. He draws his stories and insights from his 18+ years of experience, having successfully launched 6 new businesses, 12 new brands, and 12 new products across 7 countries. Vinay is also the chief mentor of Chennai-based Speaking Academy that has nurtured and empowered more than 5,000 young speakers. So over to you, Vinay.
Thank you very much, Sarika. Am I audible, please?
Yeah.
Wonderful. A very good evening to all of you, and thank you, Dr. Swati, for setting the context for this evening's discussion, especially on this topic, which is so relevant, so important, but we don't really look at it. I live in Velachery in Chennai. It's the name of the place where I live in, and there is this small road that leads to my apartment. Right at the beginning of that road, there is a small little biryani shop. It's an elderly gentleman runs it. Every day at night, around 10:30, when he's about to shut his shop, I see a small group of people crowded outside his shop. And what he does is he packs all the leftover biryani which he could not sell that day. He makes small newspaper packets of that, and he distributes it to the homeless people or those people who are coming back from work, poor people who are working there. He distributes it to them, and he shuts the shop and he leaves there. Now, I've been noticing it for quite some time. I had once asked him long back, why, what do you do? That's when he told me that this is something that I do because if I cannot keep this biryani for tomorrow because I can't sell it. I don't have a refrigerator. I have a very small shop, and I don't believe in giving yesterday's food to my customers tomorrow. But what is this? No, this is that there are homeless, poor, needy people who are not having a full meal, or maybe you're coming from home. Maybe, they are going to reach home late. Maybe they don't have food. I'm just giving a small packet. Sometimes I'm able to give out only 5 packets on the good days, on the weekends. But sometimes on the weekdays, I give out 10 packets, 12 packets, 15 packets. I just do it because it makes me happy, and because food is, I know what it means to feel hungry and sleep hungry. From my end, at least I'm making sure that 10 to 15 people are not staying hungry. I see this is corporate social responsibility that a small biryani shop owner is doing from his end. Corporate social responsibility is not limited to the Wipros, the Tatas, the Cognizants of the world. Corporate social responsibility can be done by every single one of us who's working in an organization, who's running a small business, who's even running a very, very small venture from your home. It's possible to do corporate social responsibility. But that's not what I'm going to talk today. What I'm going to talk today is, what does corporate social responsibility have to do with green marketing? And what exactly is this concept of green CSR that I would like to present to all of you? What is green CSR? I don't have a presentation to share. I just have some stories. I just have a few examples, because at the end of the day, this short little talk of mine, I will consider it successful only if each one of us who's listening here goes back with at least one little insight or one little action point that this is something that I can start doing from tomorrow. That's the whole purpose of this talk and for this initiative that we are talking about. Green CSR has 3 things that are fundamental, that for it to be successful. What is green CSR? When you do corporate social responsibility, when you make a difference to the community around you, that's corporate social responsibility. Putting it in the simplest words, when you as an organization, as a business, as an individual, make a difference to the community of people living around you, that's CSR. And when you do it in an environment friendly way, when you do it in a way which positively impacts the environment, that is green CSR. And I'm a marketer, and being a marketer, today's customer, I know that today's customer values your value for the environment. Today's customer appreciates it when you value the environment. 25 years back, no, I don't agree. Today's customer, today's customer comes to buy from you and sees that you care about the environment, and today's customer appreciates it, and in a lot of cases, according to research, 66% cases is willing to pay higher for it. Because for today's customer, it is important that their value system matches yours. Which is why whenever you order food from somewhere and the food arrives not in a plastic cover, but a beautiful brown environment friendly cover and written on there, made from recycled paper, it automatically brings an appreciative nod from your head to whoever is around you. We all do that, right? We all do that. Because intrinsically inside us, our mindset is undergoing a transformation towards the environment. We are worried. That's the reason. We are worried that what world are we leaving for our children tomorrow? We are worried that will we have even decent air to breathe? Will our children have good water bodies? We are worried. That worry leads to the care. That worry leads to the thought that yes, we need to take action today. Let's try and do something from our end. Small little thing. We don't have to, go and change the world on our own. Small little thing, can we do it from our end? And that leads us to start questioning all the things that we do. When that food delivery comes in that made from recycled paper thing, you feel a little, you feel something nice. And when you're rating that person on your app after you've had, this plays a small little role in your subconscious as a customer. Oh, wow, I identify with the values of this brand. And I put that extra star there. I may have thought of giving 3 stars, I give 4 stars. That is where green CSR is leading to powerful green marketing. when your company's green CSR initiatives are made known to the world, that leads to authentic, real green marketing. And that is why I want to stress on the fact that authenticity is very important. In the last talk that we had discussed on this one, we spoke about this concept for greenwashing. I will not go into detail on it. I will just touch upon this. Greenwashing is when you take up an initiative purely for the sake of milking the consumer sentiment, not because you feel about it, not because your culture is aligned to it, but you want to show the world that you're a very environment friendly, quote unquote, company. That is greenwashing. But you know what? Today's customer can see the difference. Today's customer knows what greenwashing is and what an environment friendly company is. Let me give you an example of one company which I hold very high in my regard. And you will not actually believe, when I actually bought the shares of this company, this actually played a role in my mind, which is Suzlon Power. I'm sure some of you who are into trading, you would have, you might even have taken the stocks of it. It does really well. Now, Suzlon Power is unique for one little thing. They live the value of sustainability and green. Their office building or their corporate building built over a 10-acre campus in Pune is the most energy efficient building in India, ever built in India. Yes, it cost more. It incurred a much higher cost for them to get that building up and running. It cost more time to get it up. And even the running costs are higher if they had not gone for it, but still they are going for it, because yes, they produce clean energy, but they're saying, when we are producing clean energy, why should we not imbibe the entire value of green marketing and green CSR into our existence? This is
Vinay.
Yes.
Nitish here.
Yes.
Just
Nitish.
wanted to check with you. You said this Suzlon Pune building. Do you have any data, or do they have any certification like a LEED or something, platinum certification or something for that building?
Regarding whether it's a platinum certification or not, I'm not aware of that. But this is a published fact in both Business Today and India Today. I have taken my source of information for this one is the article published in both Business Today and India Today. So I can share that source. So that's where I've got the details from. And it's been covered in all the leading dailies at that point of time. So this, I'm going back a little bit in time when they took this pioneering initiative to set this building up.
Could be because the latest one I haven't seen, so maybe that I'll also Google search, and if you could share the data, that will be great.
Please, please, please. That would be wonderful. That would add so much value to this discussion. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. So now moving to the next point on the first mindset shift that we need to make to use green CSR is that CSR is not a box that needs to be ticked. The moment we consider green CSR, that this is one of the boxes that we need to tick to project ourselves as environment friendly guys, the objective is lost. We need to make green CSR a part of our culture, a part of our value system, which means not just us, our employees, our stakeholders, everybody has to be aligned to that mindset and that culture. Me alone being a guy who's focused on sustainability will not make the kind of impact that my entire team being aligned to the goals of sustainability and development. That makes a difference. And one more thing which is very important, which I want to add, is that we often see CSR as something that can be quickly done. Oh, let's quickly initiate. Oh, what is the plan to do green CSR? How can we go green? Oh, I think let's make a 3-month plan. Let's get some guy and make it a project and let's do that. Sorry, going green or green CSR is a long-term strategy. It has to be built brick by brick. Brick by brick. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, Madanji. Yes, thank you for sharing that. LEED platinum, that's a new term for me. LEED platinum and Griha 5.
I also saw that. Yes, it is
fantastic. Wow. Thank you. Thanks to you, I learned 2 new terms today. Glad. Super. Okay. So another example that I want to share here is that today, when we go to an ATM, especially since the pandemic started, when we go to an ATM and withdraw money, we don't often wait for to print the counterfoil. But you know which bank started this? When they started this, we did not have a pandemic. It was the IndusInd Bank. Now, this is putting mindset into action. That small little counterfoil, hardly 3 inch by 5 inches. When thousands of people over a day visit an ATM and print that, the cumulative sum of it is tremendous. And IndusInd Bank wanted to be the pioneers in that. Because IndusInd Bank, when they spoke about it, I remember a statement made by one of the officials of IndusInd Bank that how many of us actually save and keep that piece of paper for time to come? We just like to see it, and then we crumple it and put it in that waste paper basket which is kept in that ATM. Why are we subjecting our mother nature to that extra bit of strain? Why not rule it out? You're going to get an SMS in your phone, and you can read that and know when you withdrew, what you withdrew, and how much is the balance. Which, when that is enough, why do you need that extra bit of paper? This is being thoughtful. This is being thoughtful not just about the business, but about the environment. Okay, my time is about to go up, but I will quickly want to share one more point here on green CSR, that what can we do as business owners? What can we do as entrepreneurs to do? Now, first of all, how is green CSR and marketing related? When you make a difference to your community in a green format and you tell the world about it, that is effective marketing. That is effective marketing using green CSR, and it's authentic because you're telling the world that this is happening. Now, that biryani shop owner near my house, the world doesn't know about him, but today 11 other people know about him. Now, you may not be coming and buying from his shop, nor is he expecting that. He's not even expecting. In fact, when I wanted to shoot a video for, he said he refused. He said, "Sir, I'm not doing this for publicity. I'm doing this for myself. This is the small change that I want to make from my end. That's why I'm doing this." But as a marketer, as brands today, when we are doing good work, it's part of our brand identity that the world knows that this is the good work that we are doing. When you are authentic about the work you're doing, why should we shy away from letting the world know that we are doing it? Because when we do that, we get the right customers to come to us. We attract the right audience which values what we value. Today, the millennial customers, the young customers, the Gen Z customers, for them, sustainability is very high in their list of priorities. So if you're doing good work but not talking about it, you are keeping them away from approaching you. So for powerful green marketing, when you're doing good CSR, let the world know. Let the world know through whatever channel that you can. Last weekend, my small little community of co-authors, we came together to write a book 2 years back. And one of my co-authors, she celebrated her 60th birthday. And the rest 5 of us, we wanted to make her birthday special. So we wanted to give her a very special gift. So we started, and she's somebody who very strongly believes in the environment, in making a change, and she believes in sustainability. So we looked around, we searched around, we took a few days, and we came across this very interesting organization called Sankalp Taru. And what we did, the 5 of us put together, we planted, it was her 60th birthday. We planted 60 trees, 60 pomegranate trees in her name, which this organization does. We pooled in money, and these trees are geo-tagged in her name, which means when somebody searches them, these trees will be seen as geo-tagged to her. This Now here, what I want to discuss is not the gift that we gave her. Here, I want to talk about Sankalp Taru, which has come across with a product that, with a service, and it's an NGO. It's a service that can, when more and more people come to know about an organization like that, why would you not want to gift somebody a tree which is, going to be taken care, and this tree is going to be taken care, nurtured, and protected for in your name? Why would you not want to do that? Why would you not want to play a role in creating an environment that is good, that we leave as a legacy for our children in the future? I just want to end my talk here with just one line, that all of us here, in whatever business we are doing, whatever work we are doing, we can make a difference in our own way. The size doesn't matter. How we do it doesn't matter, as long as we take action. Because the environment needs action from us, not just words. Thank you, everybody.
Wonderful. Very nice.
Wonderful, Vinay. And I just got glued to your talks, to your stories, and it was very insightful learning about so many practices. And like when we talk about the mindset, one question comes to my mind, like as an individual, whenever we see the eco-friendly products, the first thing comes to our mind that they are costly. So how do I reset my mindset to go for it and start such practices?
Now,
how do I check that those products are cost effective? And
there are two things about this to answer your question. Number one, when you are comparing a soap which is made using chemicals and which is not an environment friendly product, and compare that to an organic soap, there will be a cost difference today. But look at it, this cost difference has come down over the years. That's number one. Number two, that additional premium that you're paying is not for that the soap will clean you any better. No. You're not paying for the perfume in the soap. You're not paying for the cleansing agent in the soap. You are paying for that small little mark you are leaving on the nature. That's what you're paying. So it's all about the mindset. If you look at it, if I'm paying 5 rupees more for this cake of soap, will I, what extra am I getting? Will I get 2 grams more of weight of the soap? No. That is the mindset that we currently have. But for SDG to be successful, this mindset has to be shifted, that this additional 5 rupees that I'm spending on this cake of soap will inspire and motivate that person to produce more, inspire more and more companies to come up with variants that are environment friendly. That will make a difference. So that 5 rupees that you're doing is your share that you're contributing for the environment, and because your values match with the value of the brand.
Vinay, with your permission, yes. Can I add my experience of what she just asked?
Please.
I had gone, before pandemic, I had gone to a shop here in my local area, and he said, Madam, plastic ke panni mein de dunga aur paper mein chahiye to 5 rupees lagega. So just out of curiosity, I said, plastic mein do na bhaiya 5 rupees, kyun paper ka aap to, मैं वो करूं 5 रुपए. अरे मैडम सोचो, आप प्लास्टिक इकट्ठा करके फेंकने का आपको कितना दाम लगेगा, किधर फेंकोगे? पेपर का क्या है ना, आप उसको खोल के किधर बिछा सकते हो. So this is his way of selling. Maybe it's because out of that 5 rupees he gets to keep 2 rupees. I have no idea how it works. He convinced me so well. And then he's saying, वो जो आपका थैला है मैडम, वो आप किधर कचरे में डालोगे, फिर गीला कचरा इधर, सूखा कचरा इधर. ये क्या है ना, एक बार खाली करके आप इसको ऐसे खोल के उसको आप बिछा सकते हो, शू रैक में बिछा सकते हो, आप पेपर वाले को, रद्दी वाले को बेच सकते हो. His sales pitch was amazing, and he was giving it to almost anyone who would ask him, why should I pay you 5 rupees more? So like Vinay was saying that if it is in his mind to pitch it, it always works, because even the shopkeepers are very, very important link in this community, this passing on the information. And I think this guy did a great job. Thank you for giving me that space, because it just came to my mind when he was saying, and he was so passionate about it that he said, "Aap raddi wale ko bhi bech sakta hai." Okay, got that point. So maybe these stakeholders at the small level can spread the awareness and information too.
Yes, and these small practices can make a big difference. This actually we need. Yes.
Any other questions? Like,
Hello everyone. Sorry, I'm not well today, so my sound might be quite low. I would just like to share two examples from my office. So I'm working with ArcelorMittal, a steel giant in Luxembourg. So what we recently did was they removed dustbins from, individual dustbins from all the seats. So what it helped, or how it helped, was that every evening they used to change the plastic bag. So it saves 200 plastic bag per floor, 5 floors, so 1,000 plastic bags were saved. And to compensate for that, they have put 5 or 6 dustbins, segregated dustbins in each in each area. So at least 5 or 6 sections on each floor. So now what happens is that previously everyone used to throw throw their waste in the dustbin unconsciously, whether it's food waste or whatever it was. Now we have to go consciously to the dustbin and segregate it and throw it in the right section. So you see, initially I said that we saved hundreds of plastic every day by not putting it on the dustbins. Secondly, it is segregated by the individual himself or herself. So the waste is segregated automatically instead of someone doing this waste segregation. And third, the waste disposal becomes easier in that case. So it is quite limited, or let's say the landfill becomes less. So one single act of removing dustbins and putting up a common dustbin, which is more segregated waste, can support some sort of a, let's say, easy win. Low hanging fruit, easy pick, but it has a bigger impact. Thank you.
That's a fine example there, Kunal. Thank you for sharing that. It's a fine example there. A small little tweak in the mindset, and not just the mindset, taking action that let's remove this, and that one action will have so much of a snowball effect.
Yes. Yeah, and that's a very good thing you shared, Kunal, because you know what? We as human beings, we are creature of habits.
Yes.
Anything that we bring in, inculcate and make it a habit, then we don't look at a cost. One example I was just thinking of, when we used to go to the small restaurants earlier, we used to look at every kind of cost. Now when we go to a mall food court, whatever cost, we have made it a habit, right? All of us, even if we look at our own hygienes earlier, if you look at the way we used to maintain, you will just have a floor cleaner and something like a toilet. Now you have so many products. You have a diffuser, dispenser, during pandemic, the Kapoor diffuser, and it became a habit. So we stopped looking at the cost. So whenever it becomes a habit, the cost actually kind of takes a backseat. So let's develop this habit, and with the mental imprint and like
adapting
also
those.
said, yes, we endorse it and we make it a habit. It's really going to work great.
Hi everybody, Nidhish here I'm from LNT, and it's just a coincidence, or it was planned, because today is the Earth Hour, and as a company we are celebrating and creating awareness. At 8:30, almost everyone will be switching off their lights there, though today a lot of people are going to watch their favorite cricket match. So that's I don't know whether it was planned like this or not. And one thing I just wanted to check with all of you, how exactly you are going to support corporate in this green CSR initiative.
Yes, Nidhish, let me tell you, actually, this is the initiative of Vasundharablessing Foundation. We people have a center of excellence, and every Saturday we are discussing these sustainable business practices. Sometimes we used to discuss that green HRM, green marketing, green finance also we have discussed in 1 or 2 series, right? So this way, our main purpose is to connect the corporate sector, social entrepreneurs, and all stakeholders, so we can make a awareness that how green sustainability, CSR practices, and other things can help the society in a better way.
Great. So it was a coincidence that I joined today when we are celebrating Earth Hour.
Yes. Same we all were discussing. Yeah, great.
So keep me in loop. I'd love to be a part of this whenever it's possible.
Yeah, Nidish, yes, you can turn on your camera. We would be more happy to see you here. And you please just join us every Saturday. We are discussing this 7 to 8. And I'm sharing my contact number also. You can connect with us. Sure, we will send you the links for every Saturday.
Sure. I will.
Yeah. Yes, Madanji, any input from your side? Anyone? Yes, Dr. Ashok Sahu, would you like to speak anything from your side?
Hello,
It
everyone.
was wonderful listening to Dr. Swati and Binay. And my experience is from Central Public Sector Undertaking. And we have taken CSR as an attitude, and from the very beginning when we had not started the commissioning itself. And then as we are from a mining sector, and if you see our mines is now producing 75 lakh ton of bauxite every year. And we are mining bauxite in Odisha from the Panchpatmal bauxite mines, which is around more than 1,500 meters above the sea level. And as I know, I was there from the very beginning of the commissioning stage, and that was being treated as a forest, and that was a plateau. And it was being treated as a forest, and we had to take a clearance from the environment department from the very beginning. And you won't believe that when there is a bauxite mine, the plantation is it's like a so to say, it's a shrub-like thing, small bushes and the rocks are there. And last month, in fact, on 11th of this month, I had gone to the mines for a visit. I have already superannuated from NALCO, and I have gone to the mines for a visit. And you will be astonished to see that the type of plantation NALCO has done. And recently, two weeks back, they have got this Golden Peacock Award from the Government of India, which is one of the best for the in the environment sector. And that has never been considered. We have never taken it as our statutory responsibility, but as a responsibility towards the sustainability of the green environment. And in fact, inside that also, we have a very beautiful pond. Nobody has told us to create a pond. And there also you can find that we have left fish to grow there. So that's why how I relate myself with Dr. Swati and Mr. Binay, that, and we have always taken it as an attitude, not as an because this Companies Act has come in 2013, where this you have to spend 2% of your profit after tax towards this CSR activity. But we have never thought of like that. We have gone beyond that, and we have always connected with the people, those who are directly, because that mine is in a area which is being treated as the most backward district of the state. And there people have come like anything, as Mr. Binay was telling, that when you are changing impacting the society around you, the environment around you, that is CSR. And I could relate it very much with their talk. And thanks, Swati, for giving me the link to join today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have one more question. Vinay or Dr. Swati can answer. Like, I, as an entrepreneur, or I start with such kind of practices for my organization, then how do I get my employees involved in that? And how do I create value for the products when it comes to different sectors, talking about different sectors? How do I create an environment where my employees would get involved in and would start their belief system, right? It is also a question of belief system and thoughts when we talk about the mindset. So would I face challenges, and what would be the initiative, or what would be the first step that I can start with such kind of practices?
Vinay ji is answering, then I'll answer. Let
No, Dr. Swati, would you like to go first?
No, you go first.
Because I have a bit of a network issue, so I'm just sorting that out. So I can I'll just be back in 2 minutes.
In my experience, unknown is what people usually shy away from. Whatever, whether it's your corporate social responsibility or, like you said, as an entrepreneur, how do you bring your employees on board? Number one, be transparent is why. Start with the why. Because if I may say, most of the time we attend webinars, programs, sessions, lectures, we miss the why part of it. We just start. And people are left thinking, why are we sitting here? Then comes, what are we going to gain out of this? So, in our NLP world, we have a 4-MAT pattern. And when we follow this with our employees also, any communication, you get the person to understand the communication very transparently, very clearly. What, why, what, how to do it.
So I need to answer that question, why, and I need to set up what is my long-term goal for achieving that CSR.
So let us say Sarika wants to start a neighborhood project. First tell them why. Then tell them, what is it all about? What is there for them, for you, for community? What is it that it's going to give you? What is the, outline of it? Where is it coming from? Then how are we going to go about it? Answer all the queries, all the doubts, like transparently. And then what if? Okay, also say, what if we don't do it?
Yes, and Dr. Swati, I think those who are really doing this great, like green initiatives, if we are appreciating those employees, or if we are highlighting their efforts, then the others are just following them. Okay, he or she is doing, I must start. So this way,
I must start.
Yes.
And one more thing Vinay spoke about, that is authenticity, right?
Authenticity. Therefore, I use the word transparency, because mostly what employees feel is the company bhi kuch gain kar rahi hai,
Yes.
The company must be getting something out of it. So be very transparent.
What is the motive?
Clear. And what if is a very powerful tool, It is something that, and also the employees will be more inclined if they know what is it on stake for them also. If I just come and tell you, Sarika, come, I have a program, you'll be like, why? What is in it for me? Why am I spending my
What
Saturday?
is the purpose?
So, the GROW model, some people who are coaches here may know. Let me share a GROW model when we talk of green and CSR sustainability. When we talk of green, GROW, renewable, ecosystem, everyone, and new initiatives. You bring this into focus and you see everything. So if this is your definition of green,
Swati, could you just repeat or maybe put this in chat box?
I would like to take a note of it. Yeah, getting all those factors aligned.
Yes. Yes. So if we do this, trust me, it is going to work, because we are talking of something which goes and aligns with people's thoughts and ideas. Let me just type it for Sir and you.
Okay, yes, Dr. Swati, you here also can put it on your LinkedIn also, so all can connect.
I will do that. Or you are very good at designing, maybe I will send it to you. You can design another platform. I'll do that. Yes. I'll do that. If Vinay is back, then he can.
Yes. I would like to add a very small thought to it, because I think Dr. Swati has covered it beautifully. So I just want to add one more thing to it, that if you ask me the best way to do that, I have a very simple 3-step process. Number 1, make it authentic. Number 2, make it consistent. Number 3, make it simple. You want your employees, you want your team, you want your people to take it and do it. All these 3 are equally important. Authentic, which means you are not doing it for the sake of showing it, you really mean it. That's authentic. Authentic means it's part of the company culture, and they have that urge to do it as well once they're part of the company. That's authentic. Consistent means that if you are doing it with one person, if you're rewarding one person doing well, you reward every person who does well. Consistent means you don't do it in one particular instant you do it, but in all other instances you don't do it. Sorry, that's not consistent for me. Consistent means you do it. You do it every single time, whether somebody is watching it, somebody is not watching. So that's consistent. And third, make it simple. If you make a new initiative complicated, cumbersome, and time consuming, then you will have more and more people finding ways not to do it. So simplify the process, make everybody understand that, and give them the easiest, least time consuming way to do it. And you'll have people doing it completely with their whole heart. That's my 2 cents, or rather 3 cents on the issue.
Thank you so much, Vinay. My queries are answered. I was thinking about it to start, but I was not getting that how to start and how to go about it. Very much confused. Thank you for such great initiative.
And you know, my dear Sarika, there's a saying, confusion always leads to clarity.
Yeah.
Some people feel that confusion leaves them lost. Confusion always leads to clarity.
Happens to be true. Whenever it's true not just for CSR, but for any skill that you want to teach, or any new practice you want to include in the company. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything like that's all from my end.
Yeah, like, okay, I'll add one point there. Like, I agree with the Vinay saying simple, straight, and it should be consistent, authentic, and all that. Okay, it's very true, no doubt. But see, like where I live, I'm from Chandigarh here, and you find people not easy to convince. And you know, Punjabis are like that, not easy to convince. So, like the place that I live is a very new township, and we've had new neighbors coming in about 2 years back, and they just used to throw the things on the road. Very simple for them, because they came from I don't know, wherever they came from, but it's very simple for them, just throw the rubbish on the road. And of course, on the other side of the road, not on their side, but on the other side of the road. It became very, what you call, embarrassing for all of us, because it's a very new area, very few neighbors. I being one of the very first ones who settled there. You see what happens. It's like one thing, you know, to get these guys across. So I told them one time, first time, second time, third time, ultimately I said, if you don't stop, then it'll be just a reverse sort of thing in action. How would you like it? That stopped him in his tracks, right? You see, like I said, Punjabis are very difficult to convince. It's a blow for a blow over here. Okay, so if you can talk once lovingly and say, okay, please don't do this. It dirties the environment. It creates a lot of stink. People took it for granted. Somebody coming with a waste paper thing and throwing it over there just because these guys are throwing it over there. I got hold of this guys, come back. What did you do? Can I pick it up and take it? Okay, next time you come around this place, I'll be waiting for you on the road. Don't worry. So it's very tough. It's okay. I have seen many parts of the country where people are okay and they agree to keep the environment clean. Like I come from Arunachal Pradesh, or okay, I shifted to Chandigarh some time back. But then you see, over there, we make it a way of life. In Darjeeling, we make it a way of life. You cannot throw anything on the road. You cannot spit on the road. You cannot litter the place.
Yes, Madanji, I think for those kind of people, those who are not considering the instructions, suggestions, or anything, so fine, penalty, and
nothing, ma'am. It doesn't work.
Only the option left.
Doesn't work, ma'am. It doesn't work here. It doesn't work. I'm telling you.
Oh,
I'm here.
That there, Madanji, again a question of mindset and awareness comes, right? Yes. Unless and until they feel by heart that I do not have to throw anything, and
ma'am, it's so tough. You won't believe it.
I think Vinay can answer this. If any suggestion.
Vinay is from Chennai, a very educated place. Okay, so I agree with Vinay for that place. When I was in Bangalore for some time, I saw the place clean. But then as soon as you come and cross Delhi, then you get everything in with multiples.
Yeah, Madanji,
you just enter the railway station at Delhi, you see the dirtiest place on earth. And yet we say we are going for a clean drive. Come from Chandigarh to Delhi, and you see the dirtiest place on earth. And yet we say we will initiate this drive, we'll initiate that drive. But first it should start at home, and that's the capital.
Yes. Yes.
Unfortunately, that's so dirty. It's so polluted. For whatever reasons, I don't know. They blame every Tom, Dick, and Harry around the place for their pollution.
Yeah. True.
Right. So it's the mindset, man.
Yeah.
Simple. The attitude.
Attitude towards the environment,
Yes.
towards Mother
You
Earth.
can keep your area clean. You can motivate the people around you to keep it clean, but you cannot do beyond that.
You cannot. It is a mindset, and like I said, it's a habit.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a habit.
Answer to you,
It's a
Madan
habit, man.
sir, and why I can confidently answer. I have spent a lot of time in North India. I studied in Delhi. I have seen it change quite a bit towards the better. You know, some part of it.
Somewhere.
Somewhere, some part of it.
In
Some
parts,
part of it.
yes.
Therefore, I said some part of it. You know, when we are talking of CSR, a time now it has come that we start right from the schooling level.
Agreed.
When a child of standard 1 or 2 gets a medal for keeping his classroom environment clean, because his copy is clean, his desk is clean, he's well dressed, his nails are clean, he will start developing the idea of the power of cleanliness.
Great.
This over a period of time, when we work on their, mental setup in a way that their mental imprint says that if my nails are clean, how do I litter my room? If my desk is clean, it has to start from right there, sir. You know, from when they are in that age of creating a mental imprint.
Absolutely.
What we do, we create a mental imprint of खूब पढ़ो marks चाहिए, मेहनत करके marks लाओ, अच्छी नौकरी चाहिए.
Yes, it's all about influencing.
Yes, if we also
and creating impact. Like there is one young environmentalist in Pune who started with plogging drives. He's just 26 years old and is a software engineer. And when he started, people used to call him Kachra Wala. What is he doing morning at 5 o'clock and gathering all the garbage and everything? And he and his friend, 5-6 friends started and now so for 1 year, people used to call him Kachra Wala. He's just a Kachra Wala gathering all the garbage and everything. And now he's having a community of 200 bloggers. So that is all about, believing that I would be able to create an impact and influence among the people when we are taking such an initiative.
And for a standard 1 student, even a star in a diary is like the best appreciation in the world. So you don't have to go there for a monetary benefit or a penalty or a fine. Just imbibing that habit and culture of keeping everything around you clean, whether it's your classroom, whether it's your own self, whether it is the place where you live. And when this generation grows up with this thought, and second thing, Madan sir, we usually don't talk of, again, I'm going back to school. We have to tell this young, minds of what challenges they will face if they don't keep their area clean.
Yes, this is yes.
You will get dengue. I will not. You may get malaria. I may not, because what happens, sir? Wellness, health, and appreciation is something that all of us are always looking out for. And when kids take up all these initiatives, maybe their parents for some day may scold them, get after them. At the end of the day, they have this power to get to their parents that we have to do this. So maybe these two things, if it helps you, sir, thank you so much.
Agreed. When I mentioned that Chandigarh, Mohali, Panchkula, we are Tri-City here. We are a very clean place overall compared to the rest of the country. Right. But even then, when we find something littered here and there, a smudge on a white shirt always looks very dirty. So we are very concerned about that. And there are times when many of us even chase people, for this. Not me, many of other guys also do it. They don't allow people to throw things just for the sake of it. You can't litter the streets. That's one thing very clear in all these 3 cities. You cannot just litter the streets. You'll find them very clean. That I can say. But otherwise, yes, the localities, there you will find some patches which are not very good.
And sir, taking this young brigade with you in this thing would help you a lot, because
I think I've got excellent ideas from you and Vinay.
See, some youngsters of the colony says, "Oh my God, that's a big reputation."
Yes. See, I'll go back. I'll go back many years when I was in school in Darjeeling. You see what? We every second Saturday, we were required to go to the town and clean the gutters. Can you believe that? Clean the gutters, ma'am. How many of us would have the guts to do that? And we had no guts to say no, because that was part of our learning. How many schools will initiate that? And how many schools will have the guts to initiate that? Very tough in today's environment.
Yes, Madanji, Japan country used to do these kind of.
I wish we were that.
Yes.
Sunita, Dr. Sunita, let me share. My son's school has this. They ask the students to clean the playground.
Okay.
After their extra play session is over, so they are very conscious of not throwing anything, because then their work pressure increases.
Yes, yes, Dr. Swati, because in India, this practice is in some schools, right? In Japan, every school is
Every school has it. Every school. Because the change will start from this young generation.
Dr. Swati ma'am, you have just given me a fantastic idea.
My pleasure.
I'm going to ensure that the college where I teach now after my retirement, I'm going to ensure that they keep it clean, wonderfully clean. I'm going to do something about it starting next week.
Yes, Madan sir, Dr. Swati, it's been amazing, everyone, and participating. And I think we need a lot more sessions, Sunita. It's an it's an ever-ending topic, and it's very interesting. So we will conduct more sessions on this. Thank you, everyone, for participating.
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you
it
very
was a
much,
wonderful
everybody.
evening
Good night,
with you
everyone.
all.
Good night, Madan sir. Take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful interacting with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pareen sir.
It's very enriching interaction. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Madan, Nidhish, Bikash, Khan.
Thank you.
And Sarika, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sunita, for this opportunity.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.